I like to go through briefly the menu options used a lot and why we got them, what some of the features are there. When the gaming gun is first turned on,
Mission start.
you can actually set it by pushing the red button on the left, and you go to the menu, and the first menu it's going to come up is the difficulty level. Right, we've got standard, but we also have easy and hard. Well, standard, we use this a lot. I have to say, standard is very standard. Okay, and it will default to 5 hit points, which again is a pretty standard thing. 5 hit points, how many times you hit before they're dead? We've done this for so long, we found 5 is about right. We don't want them lasting forever, because the other guys, people get frustrated. They never die, those people never die. But you also want people to have a fair chance to survive. If I'm running a festival or an inflatable event at close quarters, they'll probably drop down to 3 hit points, and you can always set that, but the default's fine. In easy, one of the things that happens in easy mode is that the hit points are 5, but the aiming is a lot easier. You can aim because you don't, unlike the other modes, you don't have the recoil simulation. See, standard in the Saturn, when you shoot, the red dot disappears, and that's is the recoil simulation, and it just makes the second and third shot harder to make. You find that affects the game. Okay, but easy, that's a bit hard for the younger children. They make it really easy. Red dot stays on the time. Okay, so hard. Now that is really hard. What do we do with hard? Well, hard mode is half a second between each hit. Doesn't sound like much, but default to 3 hits. Well, you can be dead pretty much in a second. Right? It is brutal. Even our most experienced players aren't so sure about hard mode. They reckon that's too hard for them. But you can try it, particularly for room clearing exercises where you really need to be able to take people down quickly. Hard mode, do recommend it. Okay. So once we move through that, we're going to get the weapon selection.
The Uzi submachine gun features a 25-shot magazine.
The Heckler & Koch MP5 SD submachine gun features a 15-shot magazine.
This is one of the key things about Saturn. Saturn actually simulates 69 different weapons. That's a lot of weapons. And they're broken into 4 gun classes: handguns, submachine guns, rifles and carbines, and machine guns. So why do we have gun classes? Well, that's because the basic principle of the game is what you see is what you get. The idea is that a submachine gun is going to work like a submachine gun. I think for simulation purposes, no problem exactly what type of submachine gun it is, but it is important that the general gun class and therefore its capability of the weapon is standard. So for example, if you're simulating an Uzi, you know, it's a submachine gun, it should have a short range, high fire rate, those type of features, and it should be therefore in a case that suits that. If you're wanting to represent a sniper rifle, well, it should be a long rifle with a telescopic scope, and this is where this gun class concept comes in. Right, so you choose a gun class and you get a select of weapons that are appropriate to the case this gaming gun is in. Right, so that's important. So we have a quick look there.
The P90 personal defense weapon features a 50-round magazine.
Right, it's giving a description
fully automatic
of the P90, and I can scroll through this.
The PPS-41, the PPS-43 does not leave a name.
The Mark 49 submachine gun features a 20-shot magazine. It's capable of...
And that's going to give you all the stats and all the history pretty much about that particular weapon if you need to check the stats. Okay, and then we're going to set the number of magazines. Now the magazines is a default number of magazines for the weapon being simulated, which you can change. However, the number of rounds per magazine is determined by the weapon you choose, what you're emulating. Okay, and we've carefully gone through and selected a wide range of weapons so that you can pretty much always find something that's very close, if not exactly what you want when you are simulating. So there's bolt action rifles, and there are various handguns like auto loaders, there's revolvers, you've got rifles, you've got semi-automatic weapons, you've got burst fire things, you've got the whole gamut of weapons that you can go through. So you also can set the health through the standard menu. after that, we're going to set our language. Now, you've got a lot of choices here, as well as having different languages in terms of, Spanish and Chinese, and you're going to be able to select all these things. But we've also got in English a few different versions. We have a English male, and that's going to say casualty and kill confirmed. And we've got US female, US male, and something we've also got in there for people who are running those tamer groups. We've also got another set of sounds. Instead of saying kill confirmed, it's going to say deactivated, right? Just to soften it up a bit for those times when you need that. And there are times, even for us, when we're running events, we need that. Right, these standard menus things use a lot, and that's why they're down that left-hand side. Right, so lots of good features there. After this, I'm going to go through the menus. You don't change a lot, but they're there when you need them. I need to point out that a lot of things you would need to use commonly can also set with the ref gun, right? But if you just need to set one individual gun, you turn on with the key. Once it's booted, the players can't change any of these settings. That's important. So when you turn a gaming gun on, you pull the trigger, that's it. It's locked in.